Alright, so here we go with more equations and more formulas. So today we're going to be learning about how to take the derivatives when you multiply functions together. So just so we're clear what I'm talking about, let's relate this to something that we already know, which is what happens when we take the derivatives when we add functions together, right? We had a really nice rule for this, that if we are taking the derivative of something like x to the 7th plus the ln of x, well, I know how to take the derivative of this, I know how to take the derivative of this, and so to take the derivative of this whole thing, all I need to do is add up the derivatives, right? So here I had f, here I had g, and my formula tells me, well, it's really just f prime plus g prime. So f prime is 7x to the 6th, so this is f prime, and I'm going to add that to g prime, which is 1 over x, and so that's g prime. Now, but what about if I had something like d over dx of f of x times g of x? So we were looking at something more like this. So x to the 7th times the ln of x. We might hope it looks something like this, right? Where it's f prime times g prime. But that's actually not the case at all. And so there's a little bit more complicated formula that we're going to have to follow here. And so that formula is, and a shorthand for it, I'm going to write a shorthand for it up top. So if I'm taking the derivative of f times g, it's just going to be f prime times g plus f times g prime. Right? I'm writing the same formula here that I wrote here. I'm just writing it a little bit shorter. And so the key here is that you switch which one gets the derivative. Right? So if we were going to think about this problem we had here and try to do it below, we want to identify what's f and what's g. So here, this whole thing is f, and this whole thing is g. And this process of identifying f and g is going to be a lot more important in the more complicated examples. But so my formula tells me that the derivative of this thing here is going to be f prime times g plus f times g prime. And so f prime is 7x to the 6th, and g, I just leave it alone here, right? So I just write the ln of x. So this is my g. And now I'm going to add that to f, which I leave alone at first. So f is just x to the 7th, I leave it alone. But now I'm going to multiply this thing by g prime. Now what's g prime? The derivative of ln x is 1 over x. So if I want to simplify this, this is going to be 7x to the 6th ln of x. And now x to the 7th over x, you can actually simplify this, right? This is really x to the 7th over x to the 1st, and so the whole thing will be 7x to the 6th ln of x plus x to the 7 minus 1, which is x to the 6th. So, big idea, when you can identify two functions that are multiplied together, and you're asked to take the derivative of those, if you know how to take the derivative of each of them, you can actually take the derivative of their entire product by using this formula.